We're going to be working through hearsa's depreciation expense using 3 different methods. Then we're also going to sell it, and we're also going to have a change in estimate. So let's start. First, how do we compute straight line depreciation expense? Let's get the formula. Cost minus salvage divided by useful life. So we have the assets cost, $330, less their estimated salvage, which is residual value, another way to say it, over the useful life of 5 years. So the annual depreciation for year 1 and for year 2, actually for all 5 years, would be $60,000. Alright, let's do double declining balance. What's the formula? It's book value times 2 divided by the useful life. So let's go get the data. Notice that we're ignoring salvage. So here in the first year, carrying value or book value is cost because there hasn't been any depreciation yet, times 2 over the life gives you 132. So this would be depreciation expense in year 1. In year 2, the book value is down by the prior year's depreciation expense. So 330,000 minus 132 gives you book value at the beginning of year 2, 198 times 2 over the useful life equals year 2 depreciation expense. Notice that the fraction stays stable. It doesn't move when you get into year 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. It's always 2 divided by 5 times that book value. Alright, let's do units of production. So with units of production, we need to first calculate the depreciation expense per unit. So here we have cost minus salvage over the number of units expected in the life of the purchased machine. So we get $1.20 per unit. Then we can multiply that out for the units actually made in 2011 and 2012, year 1 and year 2. Let's do that now. So how did I get those numbers? For year 1, I took the 31,000 times $1.20. For year 2, I took the 37,000 times the $1.20. So that would be depreciation expense in 2011 and 2012. So let's look at the requirement B. If the machine was sold using straight line, what is the gain or loss, assuming they got $180,000 cash for it? So in order to do that, we've got to get the book value at the end of the second year. Alright, let's stop and calculate that. So there's our cost, year 1 and year 2, it's the same. And then the accumulated depreciation for straight line method, it would be $60,000 in the first year. Then in the second year, when we had a second depreciation expense of $60,000, it would build. We would have both years here. So our book value at the end of year 2 would be $210,000, and we compare that book value to what we received. So we would compare the 210 to the 180. You received less than what you gave up, so you have a loss of $30,000. Alright, requirement C. In the third year, we're going to have a change of the salvage value. That's a change in estimate. We don't go back and change the 2 years that are already passed, but we would change the current year, and that would change all the years going forward. So when we have a change in estimate, we take the book value, we put it in the place where cost normally would have gone, and we update the depreciation expense over the remaining useful life. Let me change that so it's very clear. Okay, so the book value at the time of the change in salvage was $210,000 because we changed the salvage in year 3. Here's our new salvage over the years remaining. It's still a 5-year asset. We didn't change the useful life. 2 years are gone. We include this current year in the years remaining. There's 3 years remaining. So our depreciation expense in year 3, 4, and 5 would be $63,000.